What is up, y'all? It's your host, your amigo Eduardo Magaña, and welcome back to Roasted. Today, we're gonna whip up something very delicious, which I think is delicious. But it's one of my favorite dishes to make. If you have the time, you have the day off, it's a great dish to make. And we're gonna do a Sous Vide Pork Tenderloin. You're probably thinking, what the hell is Sous Vide? I don't know. This is Sous Vide. Pretty much, you're cooking underwater. I'll explain later on in the video what a sous vide is or what is sous vide. But let's get to cooking. Let's get roasted. Okay, so to start off, we're gonna start off by making a herb garlic butter for the pork tenderloin. The pork tenderloin is gonna go in a Ziploc bag with this butter that I'm gonna make, and we're gonna enter it in the sous vide. First, we're gonna start off with some shallots. We're gonna just start with half. And we're just gonna chop it up real quick because we are gonna blend all of this together. So we're gonna put that in our blender. It's for my ninja. Garlic. Add some garlic to here as well too. I love garlic. Garlic's so good. Man, reminds me of Goodfellas, where they get the little thing and they go really, really thin. That's my boy. So we got garlic and some shallots. And we're gonna add some herbs. This is actually an herb mix that they sell usually at the grocery stores. It has rosemary, lavender, oregano, thyme. You can find in those containers, they're called herbs of Provence. I like to add a little bit more thyme and rosemary in here as well too. Add some salt, some sea salt, and some pepper. We're gonna add this into here as well too. We're gonna blend that up, it's gonna be real nice. And we're gonna add our melted butter. Blend. Now that it's all nice and blended, don't be discouraged. It does come out this green, and it's because of the herbs and all that stuff that we put in there. But this smells beautiful, and it tastes very, very good. This is what we're gonna put into our pork tenderloin, and it's gonna go in this bag. So now that we got these both in our Ziploc bags, we're going to add our nice herb butter that we're gonna put inside of our bag of pork tenderloin. So I'm gonna go ahead and add stuff. And just seal it up until it's nice and coated. Nice and coated in our butter base. Looks like a big turd. Now that it's nice and into our butter base, seal it up. With the sous vide, you need to make sure the air is 100% gone. I know that's almost impossible. If you had a vacuum sealer, use that. I am broke, so I don't have that. Roll it up, get as most air out as you can, and there you go. Ready to put inside our sous vide. Okay, this is our sous vide. This is pretty much a heating element that is circulating and making sure that the water temperature is always at a constant degree that you set. For instance, we're gonna set it at 125. It's right now at 120. Pretty much what this does is that your food, the internal temp, will be that temperature inside. It's a foolproof system. You will never overcook a piece of meat again. We're at 121, but we're gonna add it in right now. We're gonna add our pork tenderloin into the sous vide. Just like I mentioned, right now the temperature of the water is 121. Leave the pork tenderloin inside for 4 hours, and by the time at 4 hours it's going to be real nice and tender, and the internal temperature is going to be at 125. Now that it's at 125 doesn't mean you can eat it right away. We're going to throw it right into a cast iron pan, and we're going to give it a nice beautiful color. We're going to cook it and sear it on the outside. And once we cut into this pork tenderloin, it's gonna be very nice and pink. A medium rare is what I'm trying to get to. Since I am gonna cook it into the cast iron pan, that 125 internal temp should hit up about 130, 135, and that's gonna be a perfect medium rare. We're gonna leave this in 4 hours. We'll be back. Now that you have the pork tenderloin in the sous vide and you're gonna wait the 4 hours, we're gonna prep our side dish. We're going to make bacon wrapped asparagus. I've also prepared a mix for our bacon wrapped asparagus. Pretty much what this is thyme, rosemary, we got some garlic powder, some onion powder, a little bit of pepper, and some salt. And we're gonna drizzle this on there before we put it into the oven with some olive oil. First, we're gonna start off by taking off at least this part of the asparagus. This part of the asparagus I'm not a fan of. It's very tough, it's very fibrous. So I like to take this off. Open up our asparagus. Give these a nice wash as well too. Sometimes asparagus can have a little dirt on them. We're gonna go ahead and wash these. Now that we have our asparagus nice and washed, we're gonna go ahead and wrap it in bacon. Now that we have our bacon nice and wrapped, about 2 slices of bacon, we're gonna go ahead and put it into the oven. We're gonna use this tray, a little bit of wire tray, so it's not touching on the bottom, so it doesn't stick. So we're gonna go ahead and do that. We're gonna drizzle it with a little bit of olive oil. And we're gonna add our I'm not gonna turn on my big old oven just for 2 little asparagus bunches, but I got me a small little conventional oven. Just throw that in there. About 350 degrees until the bacon is nice and crispy. Well, as I'm waiting right now for the pork tenderloin to be sous vide, I think right now is a perfect chance to tell all of y'all, thank y'all so much for actually taking the time and actually looking at my content. I know my channel is very new. Appreciate all of y'all that are currently subscribed and liking my channels and viewing them. I'm enjoying this. I like doing this, so I just wanted to take the time and say thank y'all to everybody. And if you feel like there's something that I can improve, I know I don't have the best kitchen in the world in size, but I can make it work. I wish I had something better, but in my little 1-bedroom apartment, it's really all I can do. I'm already halfway to 100, so thank you again, guys. Once we hit that subscriber mark, and I'm probably gonna say 200, I will send y'all to the winner one of those sous vides. I'll send it right to your address. You have the choice of also either picking out an apron from Hedley and Bennett, and if you want to make it a little bit better, I'll go ahead and send y'all the Hedley and Bennett Vans collaboration shoes. Like I said, you can choose one of those sous vides that I was showing how to use today, one of the shoes, or one of the aprons. Share the word, spread the love, show everybody what this YouTube channel is about. And to that winner, like I said, you have the option to choose from that sous vide, these Vans shoes, either the high top, they do have some slip-ons, or one of these aprons. So spread the word, guys. Keep it roasted. Let's get back to our pork tenderloin. We'll go ahead and take it out, and we're gonna dry it off. If that looks unpleasing, trust me, it does. Like I said, we're not going to eat this just like this. It doesn't look right. We're gonna sear it. We're gonna sear it on a very hot cast iron pan, and it's gonna come out looking way better than this. But we know that the internal temp is 125. And just as it's almost there, we did put it at 125. It did reach 123 and going, but it's okay. We're gonna sear this sucker. And just to give you an idea, it is cooked. You could eat it like this, but it doesn't look appetizing. But it's a nice pink. It's very juicy. I cut off a bit because this is what I'm gonna eat. I'm not gonna eat everything else. I'm just by myself. But if you see that, so what we're going to do is we're gonna maintain that wellness. We're just gonna sear the outside. Give it that nice sear, because we can't eat it like this. Okay, so we got our cast iron pan, and we're gonna turn it on the highest heat, and we're gonna drizzle this pan, get this coated with some canola oil. We're gonna get this smoking. Prepare your fire alarms, prepare your smoke detectors, because there's gonna be a lot of smoke. And no, we're not doing drugs. Okay, now that we got this cast iron pan nice and piping hot, we can go ahead and add the pork tenderloin. And once we get that nice and brown and looking good on the outside, we're gonna add some mushrooms, and we're gonna have that as a topping. We're gonna add some parsley, and we're gonna make like an au jus kind of like a dressing for it. And let's get this baby going. Beautiful. Oh, and it smells good. It smells like the garlic, the herbs, the shallots. That's what it smells like right now. we're gonna get this nice and brown, Towards the end, we're gonna add half a stick of butter and some mushrooms. It looks weird. I know what you're probably thinking, but it's pork tenderloin, I promise you. It's already getting a nice color. Once I put it on the last side of the pork tenderloin, we're gonna add the butter and we're just gonna baste it. So what sticks to the cast iron pan, that's the good stuff. Make sure you get all that butter. That is a nice, beautiful color. Just keep on basting it. And now I'm gonna take it off. But that's exactly how I want it. And I can sear this part too. Beautiful. Now, we're gonna add some mushrooms. Just some red wine. A little more. I like to put back the pork tenderloin. Go ahead and sprinkle a little bit of parsley. Parsley leaves. And there you have it. And just like that, oh, that juice, 132. Real close to 135. Real close. Look at that, nice and nice and red. Look at that juice coming out. Asparagus or tenderloin. Well, that's pretty much it. Real simple. One of my favorite dishes to make. I know y'all probably don't have a sous vide, but y'all can probably just make it in the oven until it hits a certain temp that you're liking. But this is how I love it. So, excuse me, guys. I'm gonna get to eating. Until next time, roasted. Provecho. Nothing like a good old tequila. Oh yeah. Putting that little juice right there. So soft. Alright, y'all can leave now. I'm hungry.